A 45-year-old woman lay in a hospital bed, recovering from a heart attack. She had glimpsed God during surgery. "Is my time over?" she asked. "No," God replied. "You have 43 years left." Relieved, she decided to do many surgeries to enhance her appearance. She wanted to seize life's opportunities. Just after leaving the hospital, she stepped onto the street, dreaming of her new look. Suddenly, an ambulance struck her down. In the afterlife, she faced God again, bewildered. "You said I have more 43 years time." God surprisingly replied, "Sorry, I didn't recognize you."
A man went to confess to the priest.
"Father, forgive me. During World War II, I sheltered a Jew,
Certainly. You did not sin, my son.
but I asked him to pay 20 shillings a week to stay in my bar.
Well, of course. That one was not very good. However, you ultimately saved that person's life. So you are forgiven.
Oh, Father, that's great. I feel relieved. Now can I ask another question?
What do you want to ask, my son?
Do you think I should tell him that the war is over?
A cowboy rode into town and stopped at a saloon for a drink. When he finished his drink, he found his horse had been stolen. He went back into the bar, handily flipped his gun into the air, caught it above his head without even looking, and fired a shot into the ceiling.
"Which one of you sidewinders stole my horse?"
He yelled with surprising forcefulness. No one answered.
"All right, I'm gonna have another beer. And if my horse ain't back outside by the time I finish, I'm gonna do what I done in Texas. And I don't like to have to do what I done in Texas."
Some of the locals shifted restlessly. The man, true to his word, had another beer, walked outside, and his horse had been returned to the post. He saddled up and started to ride out of town. The bartender wandered out of the bar and asked, "Say, partner, before you go, what happened in Texas?" The cowboy turned back and said,
"I had to walk home."
A man was sitting and reading his newspaper when his wife suddenly hit him on the head with a frying pan. The man asked, "Why did you do that?" His wife replied, "I hit you because I found a piece of paper in your pocket with the name Jenny, a girl's name, written on it." The man said, "Last week, when I went to watch the horse race, the horse I bet on was named Jenny." His wife apologized and went to take care of the housework. 3 days later, the man was watching TV when his wife hit him on the head again, this time with a bigger pot, nearly knocking him out. When he regained consciousness, he asked, "Why did you hit me this time?" His wife answered, "Because your horse called." The farmer was sitting on the porch of his house, watching the workers. As he sat there, he saw a worker get off a truck, dig a hole by the roadside, and then get back in the same vehicle and leave. A few moments later, while this truck had stopped further down the road, another pickup arrived. A worker jumped out of the back of the pickup and began filling in the hole, carefully smoothing it over. These two workers repeated this process several times, with the first one digging a hole and the second one filling it in. The farmer, surprised by this behavior, approached them and asked, "What are you doing?" One of them replied, "We are workers on a nature beautification project, but our friend who plants the trees is on leave."
The young woman picked up the painting, placed it against the wall, and adjusted it a bit this way and that. She then threw the painting onto the couch, picked up the drill, and set it to the spot she had marked with her pencil. A piece of the wall's plaster chipped off and fell to the ground, but the wall remained unholed. The woman placed the painting on the opposite wall, marked a spot, picked up the drill, and another piece of plaster fell. She made another mark, more plaster fell, but the wall still wasn't pierced. Half of the wall's plaster had crumbled away. There was almost no intact spot left on the room's walls. The woman got angry, threw the drill, and the drill bit broke. A man entered the room. The woman was sitting on the couch, frustrated, holding the painting. The man shook his head, went out, and returned with a nail and a hammer. He pointed to a spot where there was still a bit of plaster left on the wall. He hammered the nail into the wall, hung the painting on the nail, and with great effort, adjusted it unevenly on the wall. He smiled out of sheer helplessness. The camera zoomed in on the painting, revealing the logo of an insurance company, and beneath it was written, "Insure your home, one day your spouse might want to hang a painting on the wall."